Hey, it's time for Monday Mindset Magic. And I am once again loving trying to figure out Instagram. Oh, there we go. Fabulous. Fabulous. Wowza. It's Monday. It's the Monday after Easter, and the Queen of Magic had dinner. I made dinner for my family, and there was, oh my goodness gracious, the kitty of my niece, who she's had for, gosh, it seems like it's been 25 years that cat's been alive. I think she got it in early 2000, literally, when I lived here before, and the cat died yesterday. Interestingly, grief is such an emotion that there is so much conversation around, or not, or lack of conversation around, and there is no one way to do it. And so it was a night of there was a night of wine for all of us that were involved in the cat's uh, transition. And it just reminds me of this book that I read, or started reading this week, called The Gap and the Gain. And those two words, really, I just replaced them with abundance and lack mentality, because you are either in abundance thinking mindset or you're in lack. You're not generally in a neutral zone, because that's not how our brains work. And in this book, they talk about the gap and the gain. So imagine the gap. This is where you are, and this is where you want to be. And this area in here is what's called the gap in this book, in the description. And they refer to the gap being a place where you feel like there's not enough, and so you're constantly looking to where you want to be and not finding yourself measuring up, when in reality, as if we look backwards and see all the things that we have accomplished, then that's in the gain. Well, take that from an abundance teacher, that abundance is about gratitude. Abundance is about loving what is right now. There's actually a book, I've shared this with you, Byron Katie, Loving What Is. And so one of the examples, and that's why I say it's abundance and lack mentality, is one of the examples that he used in the book was with respect to his children. And you'll notice kids, but we're just all big kids, so it doesn't matter whether a child in a physical form is behaving this way or it's ourselves. Because when I tell you the stories, I want you to think about how you might perceive that. So they're out dinner, and he's got four children, and the youngest is a little boy, and the others are girls. So there's a cookie that comes to the table, and the son is just like, I want the cookie, I want the cookie, I want the cookie. So what he does as a parent, he divides the cookie in four and gives each one of them a piece of the cookie. Now, before they got the cookie, he was so excited about the cookie, right? And this is what we do, is we get so excited about something, but then we go into our lack mentality because it isn't exactly the way that we say we wanted it. So the little boy is sitting there looking at his piece of cookie, and what he says is, "Oh my gosh, I got the smallest piece of cookie." Instead of, "Holy crap, I just got cookie," right? I mean, how many times do we do that? I've seen it tons of times, because I have all these social media channels where it shows up. I think I have a saying that's something to this effect, is this individual wouldn't be happy if you hung him with a new rope, because sometimes we just aren't happy no matter what. And that is a lack mentality. When you get your mind into this absolute gratitude for every single thing that is happening for you in any given moment, then, and even if it doesn't feel like it's a good thing, because as I said, grief was the order of the night last night, and yet there is this opportunity, whether it's a cat or it's a human being, where we can reflect on the life of that beingness on this planet. Because yes, grief is sadness, and it is okay to feel and embrace that sadness, and also look at the good that came as a result of why you're creating that sadness for yourself. So and one other example that he gave was the one of his daughters was playing and she had five gosh, I forget what they were, but they were toys. So let's just say five batons. And her younger sister came and took one of the batons away from her. So now she's got, instead of five, she has four. And what is she doing? Is she's focusing on her sister who took one instead of the four that she has. So if you have the opportunity today, I would love it if you would put in the comments here in the chats how you do this to yourself by saying that you're not experiencing the good in your life because it is so much out there for you to begin to look at from a perspective of, I've got more than enough. I don't have enough. I have more than enough. And that mindset alone will begin to allow you to experience life in a different way. So I was just listening to another one of my many people that I listen to about mindset. And he was sharing, and I've shared this in a similar fashion, that this is just a computer. It just 100% is a computer. But if you look at your computer, you have the hardware, which is the physical computer that you're on, whether it be this or a laptop, which I prefer. And there is the software. So on here, those would be all of the apps and all of the things that are showing up for you in your life with respect to how you show up, how you eat, whether you go to the gym, how you dress, how your office may be, in my case, messy. This is the software. These are the applications. These are the habits that we have. And the hardware is your beliefs. Your hardware is your beliefs. So if your hardware is your belief that I will never fill in the blank, I will never have, I will never be, I can never do, that will then dictate how these software applications show up. And just back in the day, we'd had these computers that were gigantic and sit on the desk, and you could actually see the tower, if you will, the hard drive. Until you upgraded the hard drive, it didn't matter if you had an application that you could put on it, because what we do is we get confused that we can't do an application. Say, for instance, you say, my belief is that I just can't lose weight, right? So if my belief is that I just can't lose weight, no matter how many applications I try, eating less, counting calories, going to the gym, I still have this underlying belief that says I can't lose weight. Therefore, these applications aren't going to work. It's like trying to put an updated app on an old style flip phone. It won't compute. So what you have to do is you have to get to the hardware, which is your beliefs. And if you want to know what your beliefs are, and I've said this before, look around you. What is happening is the universe is reflecting your beliefs back to you. That's as simple as it is. And the whole notion, Michael Beckwith, who is one of the most seen thought leaders on documentaries, and he was on The Secret, when asked in today's world, would he say something differently on The Secret? And he said, yes. I would say that it is not the law of attraction because you're not pulling in, you are reflecting what's in here, which is a resonance. So you're resonating out into the world who you are, and it is being reflected. What's fascinating and magical about this body is that the light fractions that are coming into your eyes, to your vision, are just, they're just energy. They're just energy. And it's because we put a certain spin on them. So I could see the same exact thing that you're seeing, and we could have a view of that, no matter what it is, and experience people talking, fighting in any way. An elephant, one's scared, one's not. You're going to have your reaction, which is based on the belief that's already established. And so we're going to see the world differently. duh. That's why we have a polarized country that we live in, is because people are seeing things differently. They're implanting beliefs that are then being reflected so that they see truly, especially if you go out seeking it through the internet and the news, you see exactly what you're looking for. Exactly. And of course, then you're right. So the old aged statement is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Frankly, I want to be happy. So I don't want to be right. I just want to, when I'm not experiencing life the way I choose to experience it, I want to see what is that belief that's keeping me stuck. So therefore, I'm not sure what I'm looking at, because you can challenge your beliefs at any moment. And the beauty of that is that you can change that belief in a holy instant. You can absolutely change your beliefs and have a different life. And it has been documented and researched that when you do change these beliefs, you actually can have physical healings as well, not just a mental and emotional. So you've got a mental body, a spiritual body, and a physical body, and you can have a shift and a change in all of that. It's just a matter of changing your beliefs. So that is this Monday mindset magic. And I'm just looking to see if anybody is online real quick to say hi to, since it doesn't show up it doesn't show up on the streaming that I'm doing the live itself and the question. So I have to go into the various platforms. So today, take all of that rebirthing from yesterday. Spring is here. It is a moment of a rebirth. It is a moment of harvest, not harvesting. It's a moment of renewal. There is so much energy around spring. So we've been fallow during the winter, and what it's time to do now is to let yourself be this new expression that is absolutely magical. So stay tuned for next Monday, and y'all have an amazing week.